on July the 2nd. It's still light usually at 8:28, but that is just a dark cloud that is coming in from the west. And before it begins raining, the grounds crew is going to put the tarp on the field, which never looks good in the moment. But if it in fact does rain and we have a delay, it sure helps when you pull the tarp back and the field is completely dry. And so after a long rain delay and the tarp was completely covered with water, if you look out on the playing surface now, it's almost like they didn't play 1 minute tonight. And John Schreiber will take over for the Royals in the top of the 6th inning. And Schreiber gets a 3-pitch strikeout after the 2.5-hour rain delay.
And there's a high shot deep into right, and that baby's going to get out of here. Home run off the bat of Brandon Lau, his 7th home run of the year. So the Rays will up this lead to 5-1.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Wednesday, Hump Day, July 3rd, 2024. But it's not quite Hump Day because this is like Friday for me because there will be no live show tomorrow and no live show on Friday. So it'll give me 4 days away. So this is not Hump Day. This is Friday, but it's Wednesday. And so for most people, you'll have Thursday off, but not Friday. So this isn't actually your Friday. This is just your Wednesday with a day off tomorrow. I don't know. I'm confused. It's actually Wednesday, but I won't come back until Monday. How's that sound?
Doesn't matter what day.
Right.
It's a new day.
It's a new day with SSJ. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And I will tell you this. Something fun, since we're talking about no live show tomorrow or Friday. How about this? We've got some baseball for you tomorrow to enjoy if you're out and about enjoying 4th of July. We'll have the Philadelphia Phillies and Chicago Cubs at 1 o'clock right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. And we're also going to have Sporting Kansas City versus Colorado. That's going to be at 8:30, followed by the final whistle. So you've got some special programming there. And then on Friday at 6 a.m., there's going to be a best of 8-10, a combination of New Day, the Zone, and the program. And then we're going to have... this is going to be pretty good. At 2 o'clock, we're going to have a replay of the Super Bowl. You ever heard of that one, Stan? That's going to be awesome. We received approval from the NFL via Westwood One to replay the Super Bowl on Friday at 2 o'clock. And so you're going to have an opportunity, if you want, on Friday, if you are out and about, to listen to the Westwood One broadcast, the replay of the Chiefs' Super Bowl victory over the San Francisco 49ers. And maybe you never heard it because you were watching it on TV or you were at the game. I don't know. That's pretty cool. I'll listen to it. I'll damn well listen to the end of the fourth quarter and overtime. I can promise you that. And so that's some cool stuff for you over the next couple of days to listen to. Coming up on the show today, we're going to talk to Mike Boddicker, former Royals pitcher in studio. He'll be here at 6:30, and he'll be with us for an hour and a half. We have a couple of special appearances today because of the short week. We had to cram some guests in together, and so Mike Boddicker will be here at 6:30, but then Buster Olney will also be on the show at 7 o'clock. And so we'll have Buster Olney and Mike Boddicker together at 7 o'clock talking baseball. That's going to be fun. So if you like baseball, if you love baseball, you should definitely tune in at 7 o'clock for Buster Olney and Mike Boddicker. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, normally this happens on Thursday, but we moved it up to Wednesday because we can't skip a week with him. We'll have Anthony Sherman and Garrick Dieter in studio in the 8 o'clock hour. I would say talking football, but they probably won't talk football. We'll talk about Sherm's appearance on Hot Mic with SSJ, which just took place a few days ago, and that episode is available now on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You could also like and subscribe on YouTube and watch it on YouTube. A Hot Mic with SSJ with the sausage Anthony Sherman, and it's about an hour of 10 minutes of great stories. And so if you would like to hear Anthony Sherman tell some stories, and we had a really good time doing this podcast, then definitely check out Hot Mic with SSJ. Either download it or listen to it or watch it on YouTube, like, subscribe, do all those things that the kids do. And then at 9:05, we're going to talk to Royals Assistant General Manager Scott Sharp, who joins us every week. So we're cramming all kinds of stuff into one show, which should be a lot of fun. And then at 9:30, we'll do a little game called Countdown to 10 o'clock. So then I can leave. It's a day before a holiday. It's trying to get to the Northland. It's the journey back to the Northland starts now. So, how you like them apples? I did not like the apples that were available at Kauffman Stadium last night because the Royals, and I'm quite sure, because I was one of them, I'm quite sure that there were plenty of people that gave up on the game because of the rain delay and said, no, thank you, I'm going to bed, because after the delay, it was announced, I can't remember what time it was announced, but I kept checking. They said, okay, the game will resume at 11 p.m. And then, okay, that game will resume without me. And I'm sure that maybe some people stayed up and were able to deal with it, which is fine. But when you got to get up at a certain hour, then you got to wave the white flag on that one and just move on. And it didn't seem like it was the Royals' night last night for a number of reasons, weather-wise or even on the mound, because here's how you fix this. Here's how you work this out. When Brady Singer pitches, they don't score runs. And so as long as you remember that, then you won't get mad. That's how it is. When Brady Singer pitches, the Royals don't score runs. And I really don't know why. I don't understand it. The dude still hasn't won a game since May 19th against the A's. He has 17 starts. All right? A 3.05 ERA in 17 starts. That's really good. And again, if I take you back to spring training and I tell you, hey, through 17 starts, Brady Singer is going to have a 3.05 ERA. Every single one of you would have signed up for that with no hesitation. Like, that's fantastic. But he gets 0 run support. None. Do you realize in 13 of his starts, this is almost impossible. Because you look at it and you think, no way. But the answer is yes way. Because he only got 4 wins and an ERA just above 3 in all of the starts. And that's why wins are stupid. That you cannot gauge a starting pitcher's success by wins. Can't do it. The guy has 17 starts. He has a 3.05 ERA, and he has a losing record. He's 4-5. So tell me how that makes sense. But listen to this. And Drake, maybe you've heard this before. Maybe you've heard me talk about this. How many starts? He has 17. How many starts do you think the Royals have scored 2 or fewer runs in his starts? How many times did that happen out of
13.
17? 13. Yeah. Did you know that?
I did not, but I figured he has 4 wins.
That's good.
17 minus 4 is 13, right?
But that's now Drake used logic and common sense, but seriously, when you what the hell? 13 of his starts, they scored 2 or fewer runs.
That's statistically unlikely.
Now, how about this? That includes every one of his last 7 starts. 2 runs or fewer. He's 0-3, obviously. But in those 7 starts, he's 0-3 because the Royals have scored a total of 5 runs in his 37 2/3 innings. So when he's on the mound, they're just, nope, no thank you, not doing it. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, he even said he didn't feel like he had his best stuff last night. He had to grind through with what he had.
His first wild pitch of the season.
Right. He allowed, when he was in the game, he allowed the game's only run on a wild pitch in the 2nd inning. And he was just about to get started for the 6th inning when crew chief Adrian Johnson called for the tarp to be pulled out and told the players to get off the field because a large dark cloud was seen heading towards the K with thunder booming and lightning could be seen in the distance. And then a couple of minutes later, the storm appeared with high winds and heavy rain that led to a 2-hour and 32-minute rain delay, which, another unique stat, another fun fact from last night, the rain delay of 2 hours and 32 minutes lasted longer than the actual game, which was 2 hours and 27 minutes.
That's fun.
Is it?
No.
And let me tell you something. We read our mutual friend, Sumo, who's the drummer for Dolomite, the band that my son Richie plays bass for. Sumo went out to the game with his family, and he posted on Facebook harrowing account of him getting caught in that storm trying to run through the parking lot to get back to his car, and all hell breaking loose.
Take shelter in between vehicles.
Right. I mean, how bad was it? And I'll tell you, I at least had some experience with that because I was across town on the Kansas side at Piper High School for my daughter's track workout with Hot Feet Track Club. Let's go. And we get there at about 6:40 or so Dad can get his steps in. It irritates her, but you know what? That's what dads do. So we get there early, and so then she can go because she doesn't like to stretch and warm up. And I told her, look, you gotta stretch and warm up or you're gonna get hurt. All right? So go stretch and warm up, and then I'll start my laps and let me get 1 mile to 1.5 miles in of a very quick-paced, fast-paced walk. And in this heat, I will have a good sweat going. And then I time that, and I get done with my walking just as she's getting done with her warm-ups and stretches and everything. And then we go over to the pit, and I watch her long jump with the jump coach. And so, I'm walking, and you could see the clouds thinking, oh, boy. Practice starts at 7, and we usually go till about, honestly, this is the time that they have, 8:10. I don't work it out. It's just how it is, 8:10. And so give or take a few minutes. So I'm getting my steps in, and then I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if we're going to make it till 8 o'clock out here. Okay, well, let me get my steps in. All right, and past 1 mile and get up to, 1.25 miles. That's good. All right. Now they're starting the long jump. We go over there and talking to Coach Ronnie and Coach JT. We're thinking, you know what, guys, we better hurry up. We probably aren't going to get to 8 o'clock. And so let's try to, get as much work in as we can. Let's get as many jumps in as we can, and everyone else doing their events. So we're looking, and I start looking at the at the radar, and I said, yeah, this is gonna hit at about 7:30 out here. And so everyone's okay. We got whatever 15, 20 minutes before it starts to hit. Just going, and then it starts to come down a little bit earlier than that. And so it's okay, And then we saw lightning off in the distance, and Coach JT, all right, that's it. Nope, we're done. And so yelling at everyone to go, and you have to, the way their stadium is and their track is, you go down a hill to get into it, and then go uphill to go out. And then as we're saying our goodbyes, then it starts coming down, and we start running up the hill as much as a man of my stature can run, and we get up the hill, and this thing, it felt like hail. It was like pelting us. It was not fun.
Just the rain?
Yeah, the rain was hitting that hard, and stuff started blowing sideways, and it got like, I go, what's happening right now? Get the hell, and we're trying to get to the car, and we get to the car, and it was coming down hard. And I was reading our man Sumo's account of what happened out at Kauffman Stadium, and it wasn't as bad as he wrote. But like when we were running to our car, I told my daughter, I said, "Damn, that almost felt like hail or something." That was hurting. I didn't like that very much. And so it was like normal rain. I don't know. It was just raining hard. It was raining sideways, and the wind picked up. It went from 0 to 60 like that. And I was reading what he posted, and he said, and I was reading, hey, he posted on Facebook, Sumo, I love you. If you post on Facebook, I feel I can take from this and read this.
A dramatic reading.
You're a friend of the show. And he said, we hit the stairs and exited from the right field gates with 0 precipitation. From the time we left the gate to the time we crossed the street, all hell broke loose. I was parked almost aligned with the gate, 14 rows back. We nearly didn't make it to the car. All were immediately separated, everyone in his family. Some hid behind cars because they were being lifted off their feet. I just kept fighting to get to my car to shine lights and honk. I was being moved at least a foot to the left for every step I took forward. It was literally the craziest and scariest natural phenomenon I've ever been through. My wife lost her hat, her shoes, her wallet, her sunglasses, and phone, and they got some of them back. His brother and his family were crouched behind a car for cover, and it was rocking in the wind. As I approached the line of barricades I was parked behind, they all fell over and flew at me. Even a porta potty was on its side. The rain felt like razors. Couldn't see a thing. It lasted 2 minutes. Oh, and MJ Melendez had 2 hits. So that's, that's a good way to end it. But I mean, was it? I'm curious if you were out at the game. Tweet at me on X, or X at me on tweet, or X me. What do you say now? It's not Twitter. They say tweet.
Post to me?
Post to me.
Post at me?
X me. Give me the X. I don't know. But like that was somewhat similar to what we experienced, because we were going up the hill, and we're like, okay, we're getting caught in the rain, we're gonna get a little bit wet here, and then all of a sudden, just like, what the hell is going on? Get to the car? I don't know what's going on. We're in Kansas. This could be anything. Got in the car, and it maybe about, I don't know. It lasted longer than 2 minutes, but that hard, it only lasted a couple of minutes. So I totally understand what he was talking about. I didn't realize it got that bad at a Kauffman Stadium, but that's scary. But yeah, I mean, we were being pelted. And so that, of course, led to the lengthy rain delay, and they didn't restart the game until 11. And to be honest, I wish they would have never restarted the game, because it was no good after that. And the Royals lost. And they lose game 1 to Tampa. But hopefully everybody was okay, because that sounded like it was really bad. So thank you to our man Sumo for posting that account of his ordeal trying to get back to his car. But the Rays end up winning 5-1 over the Royals. Brady Singer gets the loss. Damn it, Brady Singer, you gave up a run. You get the loss. All right? No good. Your ERA dropped to 3.05. Blech. So I don't know what he did to the Royals hitters to make them mad at him. But
I know the Royals have had some pitchers in the past who got no run support. Their names
Greinke, I remember,
Greinke,
you know, he's.
But I would love to go back and see if anybody's had this kind of luck in the past couple of decades, this bad.
That's wild. 13 of his starts, they scored 2 runs or less, 7 straight, and he's got a 3.05 ERA, and now he's got a losing record. And he can't give up runs. And then, of course, the bullpen came in. So, hey, let's go ahead and destroy this game. And so he leaves. Schreiber gives up a run. Stratton gives up a couple of runs. Anderson gave up a run. But that was just gravy at that point because it was over. And the Rays won 5-1. Couple of bright spots. Bobby Witt Jr. hits home run number 13. And MJ Melendez ended up with 3 hits. And I'm not gonna knock that. I'm not gonna tell you it's not nothing, man. Because after you're struggling when you go 3 for 3 and you still ain't over 200. He goes 3 for 3, and that gets him to 191 with a 258 on base and a 366 slug. And all I can say is he should be very thankful. He should never complain about not getting enough of an opportunity because the Royals have given him every opportunity to find his way, to hit his way out of this season-long slump. And I don't know what the end of the story is going to be. I don't know if we're going to look back at this like a Mike Moustakas renaissance and say, see, he had the talent, they were patient with him, and it paid off. Or at least, see, he ended up having a decent season. Or is it going to be, see, boy, he never turned it around. They were too patient with him, and they finally moved on, and that's what they should have done. Who knows? I don't know. It's all out there. If I were to tell you that I had a good feel for what the end of the MJ Melendez story is going to be, I'd be lying. I have no idea. I think every outcome is on the board. But it was good that he went 3 for 3 last night. The Royals continued to play Michael Garcia at second base. Once again, read into that what you will. C.J. Alexander got the start at third base last night. And so, even Andy Rogers was somewhat confused by this. And I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the future is for Michael Garcia and what position he's going to play and whether or not the Royals are trying to trade him or what they're doing with him. But he continues to play second base, so. With Massey at DH, but, C.J. Alexander was at third. So there it is. But then you look at the lineup. After Massey, you look at the averages. I know averages aren't, I can look at on-base percent, whatever you want. Hunter Renfroe, 210 with a 288 on base. Melendez, 191 with a 258 on base. Alexander, 125. Lofton pinch hit for him, hitting 205. Isbell, 233 with a 277 on base. Well, not a big mystery why they are inconsistent scoring runs because the bottom half of the lineup is just, it's not pretty. That's not fun to look at. So there you go. Royals lose 5-1. Game didn't get started up again until 11 p.m. Maybe you know what happened. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you're glad you went to sleep. I don't know. But that's what happened. We'll be right back after this with Mike Boddicker on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We'll have Buster Olney at 7. We're going to have Gary Dieter and Anthony Sherman at 8. We're going to have Scott Sharp at 9. And right now we've got Mike Boddicker. What's up, Mike? How are you?
That's a stacked lineup, Steve.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. But what the hell am I doing here? I don't
I
fit.
don't know, you're hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging out with you.
You're going to talk to Buster.
Yes, I know. I'm excited.
You haven't talked to Buster on the show, have you?
Yes, I have once.
Once?
One time.
All right. So
It was kind of like the same kind of deal where it was, I don't know, one of the holidays and things got messed up, so he came on.
what do you think of the run support that the Royals give Brady Singer?
That's baseball. That's happened to a multitude of starting pitchers over the years.
That's got to be frustrating, though.
It is. I've been there. It's frustrating, but you have to look at the big picture, the prize. It's not about you. It's about getting to the playoffs and possibly World Series. And that's how you got to handle it, because it would eat you up otherwise. And generally, even back in the day when guys would go 8, 9 innings, there was always a guy on a team who they couldn't score runs for. That's just the way it was. Singer's that guy this year.
I mean, he's given up 1 run each of his last 3 starts.
Mm-hmm. You know what they used to tell me when I'd say something about it? Don't give up any.
Well, that still wouldn't get him the win.
Well, if he goes to full game, he would have.
He hasn't
Bobby
won.
Witt Jr. went deep, and he won 1-0.
He hasn't won since May 19th.
I know.
13 of his starts, he scored 2 runs or less, including 7 straight.
I know it eats at you a little bit as a starter, but
Well, the kid's got a 3.05 ERA and a losing record.
mm-hmm.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I know.
That's why you can't ever judge a starting pitcher by wins and losses.
No, it's a team effort. But I remember the year that Saberhagen went to the All-Star game. Was he 6-8 with a 3-something?
What year was that?
Oh gosh, I can't remember. I think he was 6-8 with a 3 ERA or something like that, and he went to the All-Star game. He just wasn't getting any run support. He wasn't getting the wins, but hey, he was good. He was an All-Star. He was that good.
So that would have been, I'm going to guess, because I would have thought he had more All-Star appearances. He has, according to this, he has 3.
3.
And so
Your good buddy Sabes?
the year that you're referencing
Yes.
would have been 1990,
Yeah.
when
Right around there.
for the season he was 5-9 with a 3.27 ERA.
Yeah. Yeah.
He only threw 135 innings, but still. Now the year before he was 23-6 with a 2.16 ERA,
Not
and
bad.
he threw 262 innings.
Yeah.
And he won the Cy Young,
Sabes is a stud.
the second of his 2 Cy Young awards with the Royals. Greinke went through that too.
Yeah, he did. That's what I said. Most starting pitchers have gone through that. If they've had a decent career, long career, there's going to be a year in there where you're going, man, they will not score any runs for this guy, or yeah, it's just the way it is. That's baseball. What do you do? I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. You think they're not trying? And this is. I remember an old pitching coach coming up and goes, "This is frustrating, isn't it?" And I said, "Oh man, it's frustrating." He goes, "You think they're not trying to score runs for you?" And I went, "No, I think they're trying. They're probably trying too hard."
Yeah, I was going to say maybe they're pressing.
Yeah, trying to get him some run support, because
George Brett says
it's got to eat at the
try
players.
easy.
Yeah, but it's got to eat at the players too. They know all these stats. They know what's going on. They go, "Hey, we got to get Singer some runs, man." And maybe they press. I don't know. They're trying.
But it shouldn't get lost in the fact that Brady Singer has been pitching very well.
He's been great. He's been great. Was he he's a number 4 starter? Did you take that? In a heartbeat.
I put him in at Walker. Number 3.
We started playing better once Walker came back.
Yeah, well.
It solidified our starting rotation, and we started actually playing better.
Because they don't have the depth to be able to absorb a loss.
No, they do not.
Maybe here and there, but not.
And that's what I talked about when the season started. I says, barring any injuries, we're as good as, if not better than anybody in the division, which we really are. And we proved it when we go up against Cleveland. So, no.
Singer's still got a couple of years before he's a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I had discussions with people with the Royals before the season, they said that they aren't closing the door on signing maybe, another player or two to a long-term deal, right? And that group would come from Vinny Pasquantino.
Yeah.
At the time, Michael Garcia, maybe Massey, Brady Singer, Cole Reagans. I would focus on one of the pitchers.
Yeah.
Because they can't go out and spend that kind of money like they did last offseason, every offseason.
No, they can't.
Waka and Lugo. That's not sustainable. And if you have a young or youngish pitcher, like Reagans and Singer, you want to lock them up because that's what's carrying this team right now.
Yeah.
When do you see enough from one of those guys where you decide, I'm comfortable doing this, I'm going to pursue this aggressively from the Royal side?
Oof. That's a tough decision. A lot of it's consistency and health. To me.
Singer's been pretty damn healthy.
Yes, and that's why I'm focusing more on Singer, because I don't know about Reagans, and he's a roller coaster to me. He'll have a game where you're going, wow, he's unhittable, and then he'll come out and go, what happened? What are you doing? Where it's like you're giving up 4 in 3 or 4 innings, and you're going, that's not the same guy I saw before. I mean, his stats are great for the year, but he's a roller coaster to me. He scares me because you don't know what you're going to get when he goes out there.
Right.
Lugo's the one that's been pretty damn consistent. Singer's been pretty damn consistent. Those two right there are the two guys that when they pitch, you go, okay.
And you got a ways until you have to think about that with Reagans. Yeah. But Singer is the guy that'll be first up when you think about it.
As long as he's healthy. I mean, he gets into those, like last night. He wasn't real sharp. He gets into those where he gets a little bit quicker in his delivery, and he loses his command a little bit. I mean, he walked 3 guys last night.
He said he didn't have his best stuff, but he just grinded through it.
Yeah,
but that's good. You want to see that.
Exactly. Hey, it's 1-0. It's 1-0.
And he
fought through a couple innings there, pitched his way through those innings, and
he was going to pitch the 6th until the rain came.
Yeah. You can't ask for much more of that than that from him, because it was to me when I was watching the game, which I did not make the 11 o'clock.
Why not?
The old man was in bed.
The rain delay was longer than the game.
Yeah. No. I looked at the radar and I went, nope, ain't gonna happen. No, I'm off to La La Land. He did what he was supposed to do in that situation. He kept the game there, gave them a chance. Bullpen wasn't good there. Bullpen was, and that's another thing. You don't know what you're getting out of our bullpen. To me, that's more scary than our starters.
Let's listen to Matt Quatrero after the game, and I'm sure it was a frustrating game on a number of fronts. The Royals couldn't score. They had to sit there for 2.5 hours during the rain delay, not giving Brady Singer run support again and wasting a good start by him. But here's Matt Quatrero after the Royals lost to Tampa last night.
The first run they scored, a couple ground balls that get through. You got to give them credit for putting the ball in play. Schreiber threw the ball well that inning. Next inning, the walks hurt us, but and then one swing and home run, but did a good job of wiggling out of it in the 8th. But one run wasn't going to be enough.
How did you evaluate Singer tonight?
Yeah, he was really good. They made him work in that second inning, 30-pitch inning, but he was in line to go out there for the 6th. And, the only run scores on a wild pitch. So the way he threw the ball, he kept mixing that four-seamer. He got some swings and misses on the slider. So I thought, all in all, that was a really good outing.
What was your take on Bobby's play to get Rosarena in that second?
Great play. Great play.
For Brady to settle down after that, that's up by that point. What adjustments did you see him make?
I don't think, in that inning, he had the walk, the wild pitch. It was just a kind of a funky inning, but he didn't throw the ball poorly in that inning at all. And later on, he just came back and kept attacking him. We say it a lot with Brady, but when he commands the fastball and now he's throwing the four-seamer more, he's been more effective with it. So I think it gives those left-handed hitters a different look.
Is that really what the four-seam does for him? Is he against those lefties been able to attack them a little?
Well, he's using it to lefties and righties, but specifically, yeah, so they're not, just eyes aren't down in the zone the whole time.
MJ Melendez had 3 singles tonight. What did you just think of just his swings throughout the night so far?
So far?
I mean, not so far. Throughout.
Yeah. MJ's been putting good at-bats together. I think he had a double in there, too, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, he's had good at-bats. He's been hanging in. He had the hit off the lefty there in his last at-bat. So very positive lately for MJ.
And C.J. Alexander with his first big league hit, how good was it to see that for him?
Yeah, it's nice for him, put us in a spot right there to potentially tie the game as well. So it was a good spot for us for the hit. But I'm glad for him to get that weight off his back.
I'd be such a smart ass if I was a manager. No, I'm not good at all. I was really unhappy to see him get his first hit. I didn't like it. I wish he had not gotten his first MLB hit last night. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I've sat through a few of those. You're going.
I like watching him struggle
kind of
and press to get his first hit.
Yeah.
MJ Melendez went 3 for 3. You're awful quiet about that.
Oh, I'm hoping he gets hot as a firecracker so we can trade him.
Don't. Come on.
I do.
Oh, sure. You think a team's going to trade for him?
I'm hoping.
Well, no.
I know that, but it's still, there's got to be somebody stupid out there.
Well, no.
There's a lot of stupid people running baseball. Think about it.
Well, let's make a deal then.
Yeah, exactly.
Give
him the Bob Barker treatment.
I will politely suggest that the time to trade him is past.
Yeah.
That window of opportunity where the Marlins viewed him as a catcher and were willing to give up one of their arms for him passed when Kim Ng was let go as the Marlins GM. And then her replacement told the Royals, yeah, we'll still trade one of our arms, but
Vinny.
we're not looking at MJ. We like this Vinny guy.
Yeah.
And that changed just a little bit.
Little bit.
Last 21 days, MJ Melendez is hitting .326 with a .404 on base. Last 14 days, .306 with a .375. Look, man, I'm trying to find that's okay.
Oh, we've seen this before. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like
I'm
I
not
haven't seen
biting
that.
on it. That's like.
Well, but it's better than the alternative of him.
No, that's true because they were going to continue to throw him out there no matter what. So, yeah.
My point is, at least over the last several weeks, he's been above average.
We've seen that before.
But his season average still is below 200.
I know.
That's how much he struggled.
Yeah, a whole half a year struggling like that.
Well, at least he's performing better now.
Yeah, good.
At least there's some hope.
Yeah. We still didn't score any runs,
Well,
but that's beside the point.
Right. Wasn't his fault. We'll be right back after this on WHB. Did you hear that? Hey, did you read the email? We're gonna play the Super Bowl on Friday. You know anything about that? You should say that on the air. Thanks for listening, Todd. Well, thank goodness Todd is here to tell me what's going on, because I'm a moron.
Don't look at me. You badmouth me.
Did you hear the first segment of the show when I talked about the Super Bowl being played on Friday?
But he still had to explain it to me.
But he finds it necessary to come in here. Hey, did you read the email? You better tell him. Thanks for listening to the show, Todd. Oh, I was talking to my wife.
He's just wandering around. You're not doing anything.
Come here. No, come here. You think you don't know? You feel it necessary. You got to come and tell me what's going on with this radio station. I was on the air in the first segment, told people this would be fun on Friday. Driving around to the Super Bowl. You come in here. Hey, did you read the email?
Yeah. But you know how it even happens?
You don't trust me.
Do you know how it happens?
But you don't trust me to promote things.
Do you know how it happens?
I know how it happens.
No, you don't. You have no idea how it happens.
It
you don't want to watch this sausage get made back here.
Yeah, I do.
It's happening now. I gotta go make some sausage.
That actually sounds pretty good.
Hey, did you hear
Jamaica's.
about?
Yeah. Ooh.
Did you hear about? Todd said his favorite scene in TV history was on House of the Dragon.
That's not true.
On Sunday night, he said.
Why are you leaving?
He keeps watching it over and over again. Let me show you.
Bye, Todd.
Let me show you. I texted Todd. I said, I bet you love that scene, didn't you?
Keep it out of the camera angles in the studio here.
Oh, we're in the camera. Oh, yeah.
Never mind. No.
Wait till we go off camera.
Yeah. Wait till the next break.
You watch House of the Dragon, then you know what I'm talking about, huh?
Mm-hmm.
This thing. Man, put the kids to bed before you watch House of the Dragon. These Targaryens are crazy. You watch that, Drake?
I did watch the episode, yeah.
So yeah, I mean you love that, don't you? Or no, I don't
that's
know.
why
Maybe,
he said.
maybe
That's why he
maybe you don't
said
love
keep it away from the camera.
What are you talking about? Because I'm kind of lost.
You're lost. I tell people you got to look at the family tree of the Targaryens.
I know. I think it's great advice. I got to find a copy of it and figure out what exactly.
They got all kinds of different. You got to figure whose kid is who's because they're all related. This is a very incestuous TV show, but that's the way it was back then. Whenever that was, I don't know what that's supposed to be. My point is, you just got okay. I get it. It's what the Targaryens did. That's how they are. They try to keep it all in the family. But but you're watching the show and it's very confusing. And so I pause and I look at they have the Targaryen family tree and information. And then my wife yells at me and says, "Why can't we just watch the show? Why do you have to try to figure everything out? Why can't you just let it go? It's a dramatic show. You're ruining it. Why do you have to do this?" I go, "Because I can't stand being confused," which I'm confused most of my life, and I hate it. But when I'm like when I can't figure, I go, "Wait a minute now, who's that guy, or who's that gal? Whose child is this? Why did she call him dad? Who's the mom? What happened to them? I can't remember. How am I supposed to remember everything that happened in season 1?" So then I pause and I look at the family tree. Oh, that's right. They say that's his father, but that's his real father, and so it's a lot of I'm just telling you. It's.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir here. My nephew's also my brother-in-law, so.
Nephew's also my brother-in-law. What's that mean?
That means my nephew married my wife's sister.
Stop.
So,
okay, wait.
Okay.
You have.
Well, you said you wanted to be confused.
Okay, stop. You have your wife is named Lisa.
Yeah.
Here's Lisa.
Uh-huh.
And then how does she factor in? Go from there.
Her sister, Chris.
Okay, Lisa's sister, Chris. That's your sister-in-law.
Yes, married my nephew.
That's Lisa's nephew also.
No. Well, I guess
your nephew is her nephew.
Yeah, I guess you consider that
by marriage.
By marriage, yeah.
So
but he's also her brother-in-law.
But how's he your nephew?
He's my sister's son.
Your sister's son. But so that's Lisa's nephew. How would that not?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
So how did they meet? Through you guys?
Yeah.
Nephew.
My sister's 20 years older than me, so my nephews are pretty much my age.
And her sister.
Yeah.
Boy, that's got to be an interesting family
It is.
And that's all above board, right? That's all legal.
It's all legal, yeah. Well,
they don't live in
Arkansas.
Yeah, so this is.
Yeah.
See, because I used to. So I had a very interesting situation. I had what you would call a double cousin, and that was my cousin Tony. May he rest in peace. And we looked very much alike. He was a handsome fellow.
Handsome lad.
And so I used to get made fun of as a child because of this. Because we were double cousins. Because, oh, geez, here we go. My mom and his dad were brother and sister. Mm-hmm. But my dad and his mom were also brother and sister.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Think about that for a minute.
No, that's cool.
But that's all legal.
It's all up, yeah.
Because I'll tell you how it happened. His mom and dad were married. In the year of our Lord, 1971, they're married. Was it 70 or 71? I don't know. I wasn't around yet. Mm-hmm. But my dad was coming back from Vietnam. He'd been in Vietnam for 3 years. And so then his sister Mary, my dad Steve, his sister Mary says, I want to have a welcome home party for my brother who's coming home from Vietnam. And she tells that to her husband, Danny. And it's okay, we'll have it at our house. And he said, you know what? My sister's single. We'll invite her, and maybe sparks will fly.
And they did.
And here's the interesting thing about this. My mother was 33, and my dad was 20 coming home from Vietnam. And they met at that welcome home party, and they fell in love. And within months, she was pregnant with me. And then my dad and he told me, he goes, one time he said, you know what? I haven't been afraid of too many people in my life. He goes, but I was afraid of your grandfather. My mom's.
Yeah.
And so we eloped to Miami, Oklahoma. And so before they told them that my mom was pregnant, they went to Oklahoma and got hitched real quick. So
he was afraid.
Yeah. Well, no, no. My grandpa Danny Ontiveros, he was a great man. He was very he's the kind of guy that he would help someone any time of day or night. He'd give you the shirt off his back, right? But if you crossed him, oh boy, no.
Yep.
And so that's how that's happened. But that's fine, right? So then me and Tony, hey, we're double cousins, and we tell kids, my mom and his dad are brother and sister. My dad and his mom are brother and sister, and they go weirdos and start saying stuff, mean stuff to us.
That's when you took up boxing, right?
Well, I had to, but even Drake had a funny look on his face. But
well, he always
right.
has a funny look on his face.
But then your thing, your nephew
married my wife's sister,
your sister-in-law.
We're
like, were you good right off the bat? We're like, this is good. We're like, you know what? I don't know about this.
No, that's fine. Both of them are great people.
What did Lisa say?
Not a whole lot. No.
Did you at least have to think about, like, is this?
No.
Is this socially acceptable?
No.
But everything's good now?
Everything's good.
And they're still together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Everything's good. But it happens.
That's right.
I'm just telling you, it happens.
Well, it happens a lot on House of the Dragon.
Yeah. Well, that's why I went. That's why I went there. I said it happens to people all over the world. So.
This episode of All in the Family brought to you by Sports Radio 810 WHP.